Okay, I see you live.
Is it my screen?
Yep. Let me share it.
Can you hear me
Mm,
on there?
no. Let's see. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
No.
Dang it.
Should I hear me? Okay, there you go. It's lagging. I can hear you.
Oh, it's lagging. Okay.
You got 7 viewers.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna get started this way then.
Okay, yeah, just wait. Like 1 more minute. More people to view. Then get started. I'll share it.
Okay, so we are going to get started. This is recorded, so if you are not able to view this right now, you can always view it later. Or if you have something to do, then just come back later, and the video should be recorded. All right, so let me press play on this. I had so much technical difficulties. I cannot believe how much. So everyone bear with me. Okay. So this is our first class in our Power is Knowledge series. And it is our Lakota Health and Advocacy, an introduction to Lakota Health and Advocacy. Let's get started. So we have our content. Today I'm centering our presentation or our class around 3 questions. What is Lakota Health? What is an advocate? And why is it important for us as Lakota to be health advocates? So quick introduction about me. As you can see, those 2 pictures are me. My name is Katrina Fuller. I'm an enrolled member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe, so I'm Sicangu, Lakota. And I have a bachelor's in behavioral neuroscience and anthropology from Mount Holyoke College. And right now, I am the new Health Initiative Director at Sicangu Community Development Corporation, or we just say Sicangu CDC. And the health initiative is fairly new. It started in April, right at the beginning of COVID. So lucky me. And Sicangu CDC has 3 other initiatives besides health. We have the Food Sovereignty Initiative, the Education Initiative, and the Housing Initiative. And food sovereignty is by far the longest standing initiative. If you want some more information on Sicangu CDC, then go to our website, sicangucdc.org, or our Facebook page. We do, if we have drawings or events or anything, we always post it to our Facebook page. So stay connected. We are also part of a Three Sisters partnership with, there's Sicangu CDC, Tatanka Fund, CDFI, and Redco. All 3 of us work together to achieve our goals in community development, in food sovereignty, education, housing, health, everything. We all work together. One of the pictures, there's my daughter, Ramona Rose Tuigo. She's 1 year and 3 months. And if you hear her in the background, she's probably crawling around or doing something. You might also hear my siblings in the background, not crawling around, but maybe doing something. Right now we're working from home because of COVID. So yeah, just letting you guys know what's going on. And then we have our little sticker on the side, the Warrior Up Protect the Oyate sticker made by Sunrose Iron Shell. It's really awesome. And let's continue. So our first key question during this this session is, what is Lakota health? If we're going to talk about anything specific to our people, we need to define first what it is that we're talking about around health. Health means a lot of things to different people. So I tried to frame it around 3 things that we as Lakota are, as we as Sicangu Oyate are, the way we think and believe, and the way I was taught when I was younger too. And I'm still being taught things. So we all learn. Those 3 things are our values and our belief in connectedness, as well as our knowledge and experiences. So how we think of the world as Lakota really centers around these 3 things. And our values are respect, waunshila, compassion, honesty, generosity, humility, woksape, wisdom, and wowachitanka, perseverance. And there are more values than this, but these are the main components in our values and the way we see the world. I was always taught that when you see someone, something, any situation you approach it with understanding, love, compassion, and understanding. That's the way I walk the world. Love, compassion, and understanding. So please be compassionate towards my technical difficulties today. Yeah, and then we have connectedness. Mitakuye yasi, you know, the phrase we say, all of my relatives, or really defines how connected we are, especially when we use it in prayer. I feel like that takes it to a whole new level. It's easy to say, yeah, we're related, but to say it in a prayer, that's a completely different level. And we believe that we're connected with animals, our plants, spirits, our family, our nation. You know, that includes the Ocheti Shakomi, and then generational connectedness, which is connectedness across time. We always say that we're preparing for the next 7 generations, and that's in our Constitution. So that's a very deep deep connection that we have that I believe no other society has. And the way we interact with these, with our relationships, with our connections, centers around our values. We treat our animals with respect. We treat our plants with respect. You know, you're not supposed to cut sage. You're not supposed to pull it out of the ground. You're supposed to cut it halfway. Same thing with any other type of plant, because you want them to grow back and you have to respect their area. Spirits, we try to be as respectful as possible to spirits and let them do their own thing. Our family and our nation as a whole, we try to be respectful and generous and maintain that humility as we move forward. And all of us, I believe, definitely outline the value of perseverance, especially during COVID. It's difficult. And then finally, our knowledge and experiences. So we have very valuable knowledge, much more valuable than you would think, or at least outside the reservation, much more valuable than what they believe in. That centers around our Lakota language, our ceremonies and songs, our medicinal plant knowledge or any other type of knowledge, traditional foods, our history, and our ability to think 7 generations ahead and to maintain that sustainability. Obviously, we have more knowledge and experience than this. Those are just some examples. If you see this differently, what it means to be Lakota, please comment below. I'm always learning. I'm always connecting things together. And if you have anything else to add to any of these areas, just comment below. I think we all can have an open mind with each other. So that is our first question. What does it mean to be Lakota? Connected, values, our knowledge and experiences. Now, what does it mean to be healthy as Lakota? If we go back to our values, go back to Mitakuye Yasin, go back to our knowledge and experiences, then what does it truly mean for us to be healthy? A lot of research in academia is centered around what it means for non-natives to be healthy. But for us, what specifically does it mean? So if we go back to connectedness, our health is very much interconnected with other areas of our lives. And we can see that in our physical, emotional, spiritual, mental health, environmental health, social health, and financial health. And then when it comes to any portion of our knowledge around these areas, we definitely have our own way of doing things that we need to recognize. And so when it comes to physical health, I remember in school we had the military test. You had to run for 10 minutes or do a mile in at least 10 minutes, or at the most 10 minutes. So that was kind of an indicator for kids on their physical health. But you know, for us as Lakota, what might that look like? So I wrote, well, shooting an arrow might be an indicator of physical health for us. Purifying in sweat to be able to go 4-5 rounds for those warriors might be an indicator of physical health. And then we have emotional health. Again, you know, you could measure that in what you do around how to take care of yourself emotionally. You can measure that as being a good relative. Are you a good relative? Are these relationships positive? Are you stressed about certain things? And what could you do to relieve that? So then we have spiritual health, and we can identify, I guess, that we're spiritually healthy through ceremonies and songs. Mental health, same thing. Our ceremonies and songs and our stories teach us something. And that's what mental health is all about, is learning and stimulating your mind and passing on that knowledge to the next generation. And then our environmental health. So like I said before, you know, we knew a lot about medicinal plants, and we can learn again, as well as learning about healthy foods, accessing healthy foods. And then we have our 7th-generation thinking, and that really promotes sustainability. So sustainable harvesting and hunting skills that we already knew. We already know all of this. We just need to remember, and we need to make it, to actually identify it and make everyone aware of how we live and what we believe in, and what health really means to us as Lakota people. So social health can be through history and relationships. You know, like I said before, we not only have a relationship with ourselves and our family and animals and everything that is living right now, but we also have a relationship with our ancestors and our spirits, and those can be translated through history. Finally, our financial health. Back in the day, buffalo was our economy. Now we need to find another way to support our families, and how we do that is very crucial to how we obtain and access health, how we learn about our needs in health. Even doing this presentation. I mean, if you're watching on your phone, some people, you know, that's all they have is their phone. So accessing certain things really does rely on your financial stability and literacy. And all of this can be viewed through our lens of our values. So we respect our physical health, we respect our emotional health. We don't make fun of people trying to learn the Lakota language, or we shouldn't make fun of people trying to learn the Lakota language, because that's helping their mental health. That's helping them go back to their identity, and promoting your own identity and finding your own identity is very crucial to being healthy, a healthy person. So now we answered our question, what does it mean to be healthy as Lakota? And we did this by first thinking about what it means to be Lakota. If you have any other answers to this, just leave it in the comments, and I'll get back to it. If you have any other experiences or knowledge relating to any of these areas, just leave it in the comments. I'll love to read it, and I'm sure everyone else will love to read it. So let's move forward. We have our values, connectedness, and knowledge. So Lakota health is founded on our Lakota values, knowledge, and experiences. Lakota health is holistic and connected on many different levels and areas, such as, we listed our areas: physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, environmental, social, financial health. Are there any more that I'm missing? And then on different levels. So there's us as a person, our individual level, our family, our community, the region we live in, national, and world. So Lakota health is very holistic, very broad. And that's because we understand the connection between different levels of health, and improving, maintaining, and accessing health. And this is all taught to us in our values and beliefs. So now we're going to go into, what is a Lakota health advocate? So advocacy is an activity by an individual or group that gives support or recommendations of a particular cause or policy. So simply, a health advocate promotes health. That's it. And there are many ways to do that. There are many ways to promote health. Our Lakota approach to health advocacy covers many areas and levels that we discussed earlier around Lakota health. Who can be a health advocate? Well, first of all, you can be a health advocate. You're already broadening your minds about health advocacy and advocating for yourself by just watching this presentation and learning a little bit more about what advocacy entails, and recognizing that you're an advocate. Children can be health advocates. I always like calling children little health advocates. They say some crazy stuff sometimes that, you know, you may not recognize it related to your health, but but they do. My little sister in the store once said, Sassy, you're getting fat. Well, I could take it one way, or I could say she's being a health advocate. She's very aware of my physical health. So children can be little health advocates, especially during COVID. You know, kids love carrying around things, wearing necklaces. Why not put a thing of hand sanitizer and show them how to use it, show them how to use it with other people. Children see a lot of things, and they definitely can be little health advocates for themselves and for their family. Parents are health advocates, grandparents, cousins, friends, trusted strangers. Your community can be your health advocate with your community members and your community representatives. That's why it's important to go to your community meetings. Organizations like mine, Sicangu CDC Health Initiative, our government, our Rosebud Sioux Tribe government, the council and the executives, they all look out for our overall well-being, and that includes health. And health advocacy can take place online, in person, or over the phone. However you have to communicate with someone, that it doesn't have to just be in person. So, what does health advocacy look like for us on tribal lands? A Lakota health advocate promotes Lakota health. And I chose 3 large areas for this when it comes to Lakota health. Our first area is promoting access and resolving barriers to services. Those include medical bills that may stop you from, I don't know, going to the doctor, or may just a barrier to your health. Student loans could be a barrier to your health. If you have to pay off your student loans and you can't pay your copay, or you can't pay your deductible, how else are you, if you can't even afford gas money to go to your doctor's appointment? Financial health is very important in accessing your overall and maintaining your overall health. Mentorship on ceremonies and cultural knowledge. So like sweat and Sundance. Those are things that you can't just do out of the blue. You really have to know someone who you trust to pray with. And you need that mentorship too for Sundance. There's a process you have to go through, and you really need someone there to advocate for you. You need someone there to lead you through it and help you. And so resolving those barriers to health, especially around Lakota health. Access to running water and electricity, that's a barrier. Navigating the process to getting a home or home ownership, that's a barrier. You need somewhere to live. You need somewhere that's safe and that you feel comfortable in. That relieves a lot of stress for people, and you have a roof over your head. Applying for help and benefits such as EBT, TANF, general assistance, student tuition, and testing waivers. Those are all barriers to health that you need to access. If you're having a hard time and you need TANF or general assistance, I mean, if someone is helping you or you're helping yourself, you're advocating. continuing your education, that's part of health advocacy. Childcare, access to childcare, watching, I don't know, your relatives' kids while they're working, that's part of being a health advocate. And just making sure that your family and you yourself are doing well in areas of health. Our second big header is navigating the local healthcare systems and insurance. So like Indian Health Service, Horizon Health, Winter, Valentine, SF Dental. Each of those places you have a different level of financial obligation to them. So like IHS has IHS Contract Health, and then we have our insurance copays and deductibles. You really have to figure out a way to not only manage your accessing quality healthcare, but also managing the financial aspect of it. And that could be a lot for some people. It's a lot for me. That's why I reach out to a lot of my family members and ask, what do I do? I'm sick. What do I do? Or right now, I'm pregnant. Where do I go to give birth? What do I do? Yeah, so you could be a health advocate in that area. Different levels of quality and trusted, stable medical professionals. Like I said, you have to navigate that also. We live on the reservation. We're all aware of how our healthcare systems are here. We're all aware of how much sweat and tears it takes to get what we need. So we all need help in those areas. Different types of services are offered at different times of the week or month. We all need help navigating those schedules, figuring out when's the dentist going to be here, things like that. So navigating the local healthcare systems is definitely a lot. And then our last but not least topic is understanding and advocating for ourselves in our government to government relationship with the US. So our health advocacy is not only on an individual level, but because we're a federally recognized tribe, it is a government to government level. We're a sovereign nation and we need to act like it. We need to make sure that the US is accountable to their treaties. We need, in order to do that, we need to become educated. We need to make our voice heard through voting. We need to fill out our census 2020. The government does not care about our tribal enrollment. They could care less. What they care about is the census and the federal government counting us. So when it comes to, I saw a lot of posts about and discussions about the CARES relief funding and how people have the misconception that the money came from our tribal enrollment. In actuality, if you read the CARES Act, there's a line on, I forgot which page it was on how the money is going to be dispersed, and it's based on our latest census. And our latest census for the Rosebud Reservation is 2010. Back in 2010, they counted 11,000 people. And we all know there's at least 20,000 here. So just from that, we only received about half of the money that we should have received in the CARES Act funding. And we could all use a little bit of help right now, but that's on us. We need to fill out the census. We need to advocate for ourselves and our families, and we need to fill out the census and make sure that people know that we're here on the Rosebud Reservation. Yeah. And again, accountability to our treaties. That's another very large determinant of our health. If you have anything else you want to add, just always comment below. 1 second. Okay. So why is health advocacy important for us as Lakota? And hold on one second. I'm going to pause this because I need to go grab my charger. All right, so the reason we are the reason Lakota health advocacy is important to us is mainly because of our history in health. Which is linked to colonization and intergenerational trauma. So those include things like the introduction of alcohol, abuse in schools and boarding schools, killing of our buffalo to almost extinction, removal of our lands and forced placement on reservations, removal and desecration of historical and sacred sites, displacement of our families through urbanization and through the reservation process, killing and oppressing our Lakota language, culture, knowledge, and ceremonies, monopolization of goods and services on reservations, and then again, just not following our treaty obligations and holding the U.S. accountable for them. These are all linked to our health. And then we have I guess like a deeper dive, and I use this from our 2018 Rosebud Sioux Tribe SEDS document, Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. So this is in the SEDS if you ever want to read that. And what I like about this telling of history is there's also good in our history of health. Well, there's a lot of good. So our people emerged from Wind Cave. Order is created between animals and humans after the Great Race in the Black Hills. And if it wasn't for the Great Race, we'd still be eaten by buffalo. So that was good for our health. White buffalo calf woman brings the pipe and the 7 sacred rites, as well as different teachings to the Ocheti Shakoni. And that helped us recognize where we are at in our health and where we need to go, as well as a way to get there. So now we're going to look at some current holistic health statistics. And when I say holistic, I'm not just focusing on our death rate or anything like that. I'm also focusing on like our unemployment rate here, educational, household income. And so if we're going to talk about holistic health, we need holistic health statistics. And that's another thing, is that because we live on the reservation, data is very hard to obtain. So our life expectancy is estimated at 56 years. Unemployment rate is 83%. Our high school educational attainment or higher is 77.9%. We have a poverty rate of about 48.9%. And then if we look at the top 10 leading causes of death for Todd County, we can see number 1 is heart disease, cancer, diabetes, accidents, sorry. Accidents is number 3, and then diabetes. Chronic liver disease, suicide, respiratory disease, mental and behavioral disorders.